Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks and their ball screen offense. It was a huge part of their success due to their elite guard play of Brunson, Luka, and Dinwiddie. But start off with some stats though. So they averaged 1.116 points per possession. They shot 48.7% from the field, assisted 58.8% of the time, and scored 47% of the time. These stats are all in ball screen situations. The Mavericks had an elite ball screen offense with Jason Kidd at the helm and their elite guards that we brought up earlier. But in this video, we're going to talk about how they attack different coverages, both technically and skillfully, what they did that made them successful. So let's start off by talking about how they attacked against the show. So the first of three ways the Mavs attack shows was rim pressure. Watching this clip, Luka gets downhill, attacks the show in Steph, and Ntilikita's the short roll. The Warriors are helping early, and as they hit the short roll, they get an advantage with numbers and are able to play against the Golden State Warriors in rotation, getting a good look at three. This next clip against the Warriors, Luka gets the screen, he attacks Poole, and Kleba dives behind, the help stays home, and he gets an easy two. This ability to attack by getting rim pressure could also be off the ball and off screeners. In this clip, Kleba and Dinwiddie get to the rim, put pressure at the hoop, and make the defense collapse, opening up Brunson for three. These are different ways that the Mavericks were able to put pressure on the rim and really attack the backside of the defense, forcing low man to plug, forcing them to make decisions on the help side, when to help, where to help. And just this rim pressure is allowing the Mavericks to play with numbers, play in space, and really attack closeouts, attack rotations, and just make havoc for the defense. Play against a scramble and make tough plays for the defense time and time again. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is rejection. So when it comes to rejecting a screen against the show, first thing, the on-ball defender is key. You'll see in a lot of these clips, the ball tends to force into the screen and give up their top foot. Giving up the top foot for an offensive player should be just blood in the water. You're able to attack that top foot, get downhill, and along with that, the help side is typically loaded to help once they come off the screen. So if you reject the screen, there's opportunities and advantages to get downhill and make a play. And lastly, we're going to talk about how they attacked in space. So the Mavs did an awesome job at getting five out, really getting downhill, playing with space, using their shooting to create advantages, and they did this against the show also. Doing it against the show is a little bit different than doing it against a drop or a switch because you're attacking numbers on the perimeter. This forces scrambles, this forces closeouts, this forces a lot of different ways for an offense to attack. So in this clip against the Utah Jazz, they bring two to Luka and just rotate the ball, swing, and get a good look at three. When it comes to attacking and using space to attack a show, first things first, you have to engage the show, get into that coverage, and really force two to stick to the ball for a little bit. And then once you hit the pop, it's playing with numbers, it's forcing rotations, it's attacking closeouts, it's playing with an advantage and attacking a scrambled defense with space. This ability by the Mavericks to consistently space the floor, play 4 or 5 out, really understand spacing under Jason Kidd and just being in the right spots and understanding when to attack a closeout, when to touch paint and play out a paint touch, when to just move the ball and get the next guy a shot was awesome and a huge part of their success throughout the playoffs. Now let's talk about the Mavs and how they attack the drop. So first, let's talk about more of the skill side of things from the guard standpoint. So in these first two clips, you'll see Dinwiddie and how he engages the drop. He gets downhill and attacks the chest of the big man retreating to the rim. This ability to attack the big forces rotations, forces that big to make a decision, and you as the guard, you just make the simple read. Hey, is he guarding me or is he worried about the big rolling or popping? And if you're more worried about that as the defense, I'm going to get an easy layup. Now let's get into the more technical aspects of the Mavericks ball screen attack versus the drop. Coming off the screen, Luka gets downhill. They got two guys on the strong side around below the break, and on the weak side, they got somebody shaking up, freeing up the roll, making the decision to tag a lot harder. Gobert stays with the ball, freeing up the lob. Now in this clip versus the Phoenix Suns, you'll see Luka comes off the screen and they move to space. They get two guys on the strong side again. They get one guy on the weak side, and this allows for the big to make a decision. In this case, the big stays home, allowing Luka to get an easy two at the rim. Now, one last thing about the roll and technicalities, you'll see that Powell, how he rolls very wide. He almost gets to the weak side elbow, making the big have to make an even tougher decision. But in this instance, Luka got the 2. Now let's talk about the pop. So Kleber and Bertans were awesome in pop situations, and it forces the big in drop to have to rotate and guard on the perimeter, which is really tough for a lot of bigs in the league to get out of position and make these plays. And the ability by the Mavericks to have guys that could pop, play with numbers, get 5 out, and really make it tough on drops was huge in their success in the first 2 to 3 rounds before Golden State started switching a ton and showing. But in this last clip, let's talk about the spacing. So you'll see pick and roll, they attack the drop, there's 3 wide, they're moving, they're trying to find the cracks on the perimeter, and once they do, kick out, spray, move, and attack the scrambling defense. Now lastly, let's talk about how the Mavs attack switching. So against switching, it's pretty simple. The Mavs, once they got a switch they want it, look at this clip against the Suns. They got 4 guys wide and allowed an ISO one-on-one to attack the mismatch. The Mavs hunted switches a lot, especially for Luka, Brunson, Dinwiddie. These guys are highly skilled guards, and when they got a matchup they wanted, they spaced the floor, allowed those guys to get downhill and make plays in the paint. This ability by the Mavs to understand what their guards could do, where they could be successful, and what matchups they can be successful against made it really easy for them to just find these matchups, get them in actions, and just attack. Now, when it comes to spacing, you can see in all these clips the Mavs went 4 out, whether it meant 3 on one side, 1 corner, or however they did it, but this spacing made it really tough for defenses to overhelp, and if you did, they paid for open 3s. So to summarize the Mavs and their ball screen offense, it came down to the ability to put guys in spots to be successful, whether it meant their guards getting downhill, making plays in the paint, whether it meant Powell rolling to the rim, or whether it meant their ability to pop with Bertans and Kleber on the outside. But they had spacing at every position. They had the ability to attack closeouts, and no matter what coverage, Jason Kidd put these guys in spots to be successful, to succeed. And you saw it throughout the playoffs. It was a huge reason why they went on the run they went on. And I just hope this video shed some light on both the skill sets needed to attack different ball screen coverages and also the technicalities of spacing, cutting, just overall movement against the ball screen defense to make high-level plays. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something new, and please like, subscribe, and share, and we will catch you guys in the next one.